So today is hump day. Hope you guys are feeling good. And we're talking about coconut oil, which we probably talked about before. But if you don't know, now you know. We're going to break it down a little bit. Okay, so coconut oil comes in lots of different forms. You can find it in a extra virgin, solid at room temperature variety. And I love these days buying it at Costco because they're selling some really high quality brands. I think I've gotten Nativa there, and it's amazing. I also have loved the Dr. Bronner's smaller jars. I've gotten them when I found them on a good deal here, there, and anywhere. So if you guys have any other great resources or places that you found a good quality coconut oil and where, that would be great to share. And the Dr. Bronner's one's really nice. It's got more of a nice like coconutty flavor to it. So just depending on your liking of coconut. Otherwise, I find the Nutiva one it's a little bit more mild and great all-purpose brand. And then of course, coconut oil is amazing because it is antimicrobial, so antiviral, antifungal, a myriad of benefits in it naturally as a constituent. And then also it is incredibly nutritious for our bodies, and it's also a fabulous beauty secret. So there are a million uses, and lots of awesome research. So it's definitely become pretty known that coconut oil is like great for everything. And it is amazing for all of those reasons. And today I chose it because I encourage you, or challenge you, if you will, to actually ingest about a tablespoon of it every day. So I'll go into a few reasons why. I've done some various different research, and you guys can check out some different books and things that are out there. But if you want to learn a little more about it, there's a ton of wonderful new research, a lot of great books written on the subject. And I'm sure tons of blogs and things out there. So ingesting it every day. So most of the coconut oil, it comes from Thailand. And the cool thing about Thailand, if you learn a little bit about the country, there are the lowest cancer rates in Thailand out of all the world. And they use coconut oil in nearly every cooking dish every day. So it's a big staple in the culture. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. So it's known as like the tree of life. It can, really sustain a person for a really long time. And I always think about the movie Castaway. If you had to have like only one thing, you would want a coconut to be able to survive on. So the inside the coconut, the liquid that's inside of it is the coconut water. And then coconut milk comes from the blending and extraction of the liquid from the meat. And then of course there's the coconut meat itself, which has all the heavy oil fat to it. So the young coconut water from the inside, the middle, the qualities of it are similar to human plasma. So you know that it's a really healing food. And the oil itself has gotten a bad rap because it falls into this saturated fat category. Even though compared to all other plant-based fats, it's the lowest amount of fat, but providing the most amount of energy from its fat more quickly. And there's, in some of the research, they talk about, it's falling into the saturated category of fat, similar to, they say that the saturated fats in red meats and lots of animal fats are what are really bad for us, and to try to avoid saturated fat. But there are different, the chains in the fatty acids are different. So for example, with coconut oil, this plant-based fatty chain acid is a medium chain. So it's actually that slight difference that creates, the good and the bad there. The other thing that I found really interesting is that 50% of that fatty chain acid is lauric acid. And lauric acid is what makes it so antimicrobial. So, and it's also found in human breast milk. It's the only other thing it's really found in. So it's incredibly antifungal, antiviral, and that is why it is so wonderful, even just topically on the skin for things like skin irritations, such as eczema, psoriasis, and things like that. You hear it recommended for cuts and scrapes, for the healing properties that it can provide us. And so it's also incredibly easy to digest when you ingest it. And I have to tell you, like, cooking with it is amazing. You know, is this music like really loud all of a sudden? I had like a subtle song on and it just switched up. Hey ladies who joining me, is this music annoying? I'm gonna go turn it down for it real quick. I'm gonna turn it down really quick. All right, how you guys doing? Good? Busy? Probably juggling a million things and listening in. I appreciate it. Yay, I love you. All right, so I want to talk to you about cooking with coconut oil, because it's something that I do often, because I had been taught and, you know, cooked with a variety of things as I was learning how to cook as a young girl and a young adult. And I was taught to, you know, use, of course, like butter and vegetable oil and canola oil and things like that. And then as I started to explore my own cooking adventure, I started using olive oil all the time. So sauteing vegetables, or, you know, roasting vegetables in the oven, and adding all kinds of different things to even olive oil and baking. And I'm going to encourage you to put your olive oil aside for salad dressings only, or something that doesn't require the olive oil to be heated. Because in my findings, the olive oil, when it's heated, actually becomes a toxic substance in our bodies when ingested. So it's a fabulous thing, olive oil. It's delicious. Add it to your salad dressings and use it that way. Use your coconut oil instead. And honestly, even if you're not in love with coconut flavor itself, give it a try. I mean, if you take some beautiful, fresh, organic potatoes and slice them and toss them in coconut oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and roast them in the oven at like 400 degrees, you are going to be like mind blown. It is so incredibly delicious. And it's not like it takes on this crazy coconut flavor. Another thing that I totally am in love with, and especially when I've had to do some different really strict kind of food elimination to figure out some of my symptomatic responses to things that I was eating, and trying to eliminate things and reduce the inflammation in my body. Coconut oil, when you ingest it, can be so soothing to some of those things internally. So, and also because it provides all of that energy to your body with like better than a carbohydrate would, and very quickly. So something that I would do, and especially like trying to kick some of those cravings of carbohydrates or sugars, the coconut oil is really helpful in doing that. So something I like to do is mix up together some coconut oil, and I will post like a specific recipe for this on, you know, how much to measure and things like that. But you can kind of eyeball it if you're pretty familiar with doing something like this. But mixing together some coconut oil, some almond butter, raw cacao powder, cacao nibs. So this is all just like, you're getting the benefits of the cocoa and the chocolatiness, but without any of the added stuff. And then something for a little bit extra crunch and a little bit of extra protein, like I would use sometimes chia seeds, sometimes hemp seeds, or even just a small amount of like chopped up nut of some sort that you would like. And then I add like a couple drops of wild orange and mix that all together. Put it in like your muffin tin or like a silicone one is really nice and easy to pop out, and then put them in the freezer. And like, it's just a little bit, it's only like, you know, maybe a quarter of an inch or half an inch at the most that you're pouring into each little muffin tin, and put it in the freezer. And when you pop them out, it's like a Reese's Pieces, kind of like trick yourself into thinking that you're having some candy. And I swear by it. Like, in between meals, when, especially if you're trying to like really incorporate this whole foods and you're trying to eat a little better and stay away from the processed stuff, your body can be going through some serious like symptomatic withdrawals. You're going to be having a hard time with that potentially. And I think having these in the freezer are amazing. So, and there's another really wonderful recipe that I like. Similar, you mix the coconut oil with avocado and some lime juice, and also some lime essential oil, and make these little like key lime pie bites that you put in the freezer. And the crust is made with just nuts, and you can add some dates to those as well. And you just mix it up in like a food processor or a blender of some kind, and then put those in the freezer. And that's a wonderful little dessert too. And ingesting the coconut oil. So, you know, using it, and also any kind of a baking recipe. So muffins, something that I make for my kids quite a bit, and something that I've found a way to incorporate into my diet too, being gluten-free. There are certain grains that I can eat, like oats, if I get some really good high quality gluten-free oats, and put them into the food processor and make kind of like an oat flour. And then I substitute whatever fat in most recipes with coconut oil, and you can just melt it down beforehand, adding it into it, just like you can replace it like with the butter or whatever fat is in your recipe. And I promise you'll be blown away by it. So lots of different ways. You can, you know, add it to your pancakes. You can add it to pretty much anything that you might be baking. I also have added a little bit of coconut oil to coffee. It does kind of like settle on the top of it. So I actually prefer a really nice coconut cream or coconut milk in my coffee. But then again, you're getting some of the coconut fat in there too. Let's see. So I'll post a few other recipes so that you can get some more ideas on how you might ingest it every day. And then let's talk a little bit more about, and so the coconut water is, you've probably seen on the shelves, it's become really popular. Definitely get your kids interested in it if they're really into sports. Replace all that Gatorade with some of nature's Gatorade and all the electrolytes that come there. It's incredibly hydrating. When I travel, I definitely like to have some coconut water with me. If I'm not drinking quite enough water, I make sure and add in some coconut water in there because of the added hydration benefits there. And of course, you can add it to smoothies. Anytime you're making a smoothie, adding a little coconut oil there is a great idea. You know, coconut oil, it's actually, some people might be concerned about cholesterol, and it actually lowers cholesterol. I had some notes about the metabolism that I may have skipped over, because of the way that it gives you so much energy from the fat. It's thermogenic is what it's called for it's like your metabolism burner. So it provides the boost of energy like a carbohydrate does, but it doesn't create the blood sugar spike that carbohydrates do or sugars do. So especially those who are diabetic, eating this with every meal is going to be really, really valuable in keeping blood sugar levels balanced throughout the day. And the reason whatever the constituent is that lowers cholesterol, I think it's pronounced pregnenolone, and that is what makes it such a great beauty product. And so you're kind of feeding your skin when you use coconut oil topically on your skin. It's the cells are actually being fed from it, is what I've read. So things, I use it on my face every single day, under the eyes, on cuticles, lip balm, and of course it's in a myriad of products that doTERRA carries as one of the foundations to why it's so great. It's also great for your circulation, so we use it in massage. And for those of you in a long-term relationship or marriage, it is a fantastic lube. Just be careful if you use condoms, though, because it sometimes can interfere with some of that. But almond oil is also a good option there. It's great for your hair and your scalp. It's and I like to add in my wonderful skin essential oils to that mix into the routine. So usually a drop of frankincense under the eyes and for all over the face every single day. And then myrrh, if you add a little bit of myrrh for your cuticles, I've been playing with in a cuticle massage, has been amazing, like so amazing. And then of course I love my Immortelle roll-on blend and use that with some coconut oil under my eyes. And then one other amazing little tip that I heard of the other day that I just started doing a couple days ago, the Correct X ointment. It's kind of like doTERRA's Neosporin with wonderful essential oils and a great product. I've been keeping that in the fridge because I heard somebody suggest keeping it in the fridge and then using it cold, as like in the morning. I'm just dabbing it under your eyes because it's cold, and also the properties of the ointment itself being great for puffy eyes in the morning. So I've been trying that out and I kind of like it. So give that a try and see what you think. Let me know. And then finally, one thing that I do every single day, this is probably like one of the coolest things that you can do with coconut oil. And I really, really want you to try it if you've never tried it before. And it's called oil pulling. So it's basically taking the extra virgin coconut oil, which is solid at room temperature, and you want it to be unrefined. So it will have the coconut flavor, but it's got all of the properties of coconut really intact. They're getting all the benefits there. So using it for your oral health, you take a teaspoon and scoop it out. You can add a variety of different oils to it. On Guard is a great choice because of the benefits that your gums will receive in swishing it around in your mouth along with the coconut oil. Lemon would be a good choice. Also oregano, especially if you have any issues with your gums. It's great for your oral health long term and the health of your teeth and your mouth in general. Plus it's also gonna, those essential oils are gonna penetrate the rest of your body just like it would applying it anywhere else. I wouldn't use oregano or On Guard every day beyond 10 days or so. So you might want to just add your essential oil to this. If you're going to do the oil pulling daily, you might want to just do it a couple times a week, or do it for a week and then take a week off or something like that, because of the extreme antibacterial qualities in our essential oils. It's not something that we want to overdo in our bodies. It can wreak havoc in too much. So give that a try. You swish it around in your mouth. I often will put the coconut oil in my mouth in the morning or anytime before a shower, and then just be swishing and swishing and swishing while I'm showering. And it's kind of like, you're doing both at the same time, or anytime, you're going to be busy doing something for about 20 minutes or so. Swish it around, keep it in your mouth, just keep swishing. Your kids start talking to you, just let them know you're swishing. And it's pretty fun. They actually get a big kick out of it. And mine have tried it a couple of times. They're not so sure about it yet, but maybe one of these days. And then be sure that when you're done, when the 20 minutes is up, that you spit it into the trash and not down the drain, as it can clog your drain because it will just solidify, especially this time of year. It'll definitely do some damage to your drain. So be sure you spit it out into the trash can. And a cool little DIY thing, if you are interested in doing so, is to make yourself some oil chews. So you can take like a cup or two of your solid coconut oil and then add a little bit of heat to it, do like a double boiler, melt it down into a liquid form. Let it cool slightly, but you don't want it to fully harden yet. You can add your choice of a few drops of essential oil to that, and then put it back in the refrigerator after you've mixed it so that it will harden again. And then take your teaspoon and scoop out little balls, roll them into little balls, and then put them into a glass, like mason jar or something. Keep it in the fridge, especially unless you have a nice, like, cool place in your bathroom where it's going to stay hard. This time of year, I'm not super concerned about it. It'll probably stay room temperature, but then you easily can just pop them in your mouth every day. Having them in your fridge is kind of a nice reminder for me. I just don't happen, I'm all out of them right now, but it is something that I need to do. It's on my to-do list to whip up another batch of oil chews. But it's kind of fun because that way your oil is all mixed in and ready to go, and it just saves that much time and makes it more of a habit that's easy to get into your life. So I hope you enjoyed Coconut Oil 101. If you don't know, now you know. And let me know, I know Michael, Ann, and Genevieve and I have talked about our love of coconut oil. Do you guys, are you still just as in love with it these years later? Let me know. If you have any other amazing recipes that you adore cooking with coconut oil, if you have any other great beauty tips with coconut oil, feel free to share it, everybody. Of course, body butter is fantastic to make. You can also add a little bit of shea butter for the moisturizing benefits, melting those down. I've posted on my customer page a great recipe for some whipped body butter, and that's delicious. So if you have any other questions or you want me to repost anything here recipe-wise, don't hesitate to let me know. And I'll see you back tomorrow with some more of our high vibe habits. And I wish you all a beautiful day and lots of love to you. And I hope to hear from you soon. All right. Bye, guys.